I tried killing my husband on our wedding night because he was no one else but the grandson of the man who raped my mom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another story. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and press the for the latest updates. Let me tell you another story. A man says, "Take it off, Candace." A word that echoed in my mind from the stories of my mom. She was not a normal woman. She faced things which are impossible for a normal woman. She has been subjected to physical abuse. Not once but many times. "You are a love child." She told me, but how it can be so easy for a mom to tell me all this. She said, "I'm telling you that because I don't want you to face things which I faced in my life." In the beginning, she kept it secret. But with the passage of time, everything changed a lot in normal routine and in cruel world like this. This is so hard to be okay after being a victim to such an evil thing. She was 16 when she started going to the bar regularly. When you don't have a supporting family and there is no one to stand by your side in your dark times, it becomes hard for you. So in order to cope with circumstances, a bar or a pub is helpful. She did the same. She had hookups with bartender and other people over there. She was too fucked up to be a normal woman. Imagine the trauma of a person who faced sexual abuse even before she get to know what physical abuse is. There was a relative in her family who used to take her out in the parks, shopping malls and other places like that. No one raised the question that this is inappropriate and this should not happen in the first place because her mom died in the time of her birth. And her father was a businessman who is always busy in his work. The only person who got to spend time with young Candace was his uncle, a man. Can't be an angel until you are his blood. The guy who mistreated her in her childhood taught her a lot of things. Can you imagine that there was no woman to give her education regarding her body parts? He helped her in a lot of aspects. He attended her parent-teacher meeting in school. He taught us all the subjects and sometimes he scored really well, which was due to the efforts of his uncle. That man was not an evil. But I already told you, man can prove himself angel when you are his own blood. You can imagine how it feels when you get vulnerable in front of someone and they hurt you in the worst way. Same happened to her. But she was even more sensitive as a child, her little mind, and made her question that he is the same person who taught me that one should never let anyone touch her private parts. No one should let others see it. She became confused when he used to ask her take it off. Candace, she observed a sense of fear on his face while doing all this. He used to rub his hands over her genitals and she used to keep standing empty-faced, staring on walls as if life has left her alone in a mystery which cannot be solved by his young little mind. After the death of his uncle's wife, sexual assault became the matter of daily routine. The most horrible part of her day was that when he used to come in the room and say, "Candace, take it off." After that, he slowly put his genitalia into hers. Say that Candace is my sweet doll. This will always be the little secret between me and my daughter. And when she will grow up, a prince will come for her from the heaven and will marry him. She used to ask uncle would that prince will do the same thing with me. She never got the answer for this question, which made her to search for it in her own. With time, she learned that she's a victim of sexual assault. And that time she knew nothing about this perception was enough to mess with her psychology for lifetime. How this horrible thing can happen to me. If there's a lot up above in the heaven, then why he is letting that happen to me while I was so young to save myself from the misery. These thoughts raised question in her mind against every religion and belief. And she became an atheist when she was 13. She got her first period, but she didn't know how to take care of hers as there was no one to teach her all about it. She was in a lot of pain and it made her think that she is going to die because of some chronic disease. Her clothes got covered with blood and she got faint because it became unbearable for her senses. She was laying on the floor out of her senses. When her father saw her like that, when he came back to home, he rushed to see what happened to her. He took her to the hospital where a nurse cleaned her and tended her. When she came back to her senses, Doctor told his father about the whole situation. Doctor also told him that she was too low in energy to bear pain like that. He got ashamed for his carelessness. He decided that he should be marrying a woman so that she can take care of her. He married a woman from his workplace, which was mean to her, but she found a good man for her to marry. My father was a good guy and he took care of her like she deserved to. He helped her becoming a better person psychologically. He could not make her forget her past, but he helped her a lot in healing of those traumas. It's been decades now and her daughter is narrating the story of my mom before you because wounds can be healed, but no one can heal the scars they leave on one's soul and one's personality. I'm 22 years old Anna who is looking for a guy to marry, but the guy the first would marry, it will not be anyone but the grandson of that horrible person who ruined the childhood of my mom. I planned this for almost half of my life. I started searching for the person when I was 16. When I found that man, I started searching on each and everything in his family. That guy is old enough and only smokes cigars these days. Her wife loves his family. That guy is old enough and gardening and spending half of the time in her yard where she grows shrubs of every kind. They have 2 sons. Elder, one is a doctor and the younger one is in rehab because he was a drug addict for half of his life. The eldest son who is a doctor, he had only one son. He's studying in my university. His name is Sam. Sam is my target. He's the key, to my revenge. Now you may consider me a psychopath, but well, I am a psychopath who knows how to take revenge. Sam is a basketball player and I know how to take him in. Now, once you are in love with a basketball player, it must be a really good one in the beginning. I thought that I'm so out of his league. But then with time I realized that I am better than him in my personality. I made friends in his circle and then I made all the circumstances reliable so that he can approach my family and easily. I had an idea that he got something in his inheritance and that is his perfectness. He approached me as I knew that he will do that. Definitely things happened in my favor and it didn't take me so long to make him closer. He fell in love with me. And the interesting thing was that it was last year of our degree. I made him think about the marriage and he was planning all the things. We got graduated and he sent a proposal for me and my mom accepted it because she didn't know how he is the grandson of that evil. No, I ever thought about that. I was doing it all that on my own. And now I was very close to achieve my ambition, an ambition which will serve justice to my mom. And I relieved to my mind for my whole life when we got married and he entered in my room to spend a lovely doughy night. He didn't know about my ambitions. He didn't have the slightest idea about the whole thing. Now, he knew that I'm going to kill him. I added poison in the juice which was there on the side of the bed. When he came closer to me, I thought that he will not communicate about anything and will start kissing me all of a sudden. But he did it like that. He sat on one corner and told me that he wanted to share something. It was mysterious, but I decided to listen his side of story. I asked him to proceed. He said I have some traumas in my life. Now, it became mysterious for me. He told me that his grandfather married a woman who was a victim of a child abuse after that. What he said I could not hear because I was zoned on. It's been a decade to my marriage and I'm living a normal life now.